Wall's team reportedly will be meeting with GM Rafael Stone to iron out the precise terms of the buyout. Wall was owed $47 million this season in the final year of his 4-year, $171 million extension. He signed with the Wizards back in the summer of 2017. And according to a report out of ESPN, Wall is soon to sign with the LA Clippers. And we welcome in NBA champion and former NBA Coach of the Year, Avery Johnson. Coach, so it looks like Wall is going to be free. It also being reported that he's going to sign with the Clippers. Oh, my goodness. Where would be a good fit for John Wall? What do you think about the fit with the Clippers if that's indeed the case?
Well, this is something that's been discussed throughout the season, that Wall was trying to figure out a way to get out of this last year of his contract with the Rockets via buyout. He knew that there was no market for him in terms of a sign-in trade, or just a basic trade. So, again, with that hefty of a price tag, $47 million, the only way that he can find a new home is probably to give the Rockets somewhat of a rebate on the buyout and then make up for some of the money potentially signing with the Clippers. I know it's not official yet, but Ty Lue played for me. I knew this was something that was on their minds, trying to get John Wall. But the biggest question is going to be, what version of John Wall are the Los Angeles Clippers going to get?
Yeah, that's a fair question, Coach, because we're talking about a guy who only played 40 games in the last 3 seasons combined, didn't play at all this past season. What should the Clippers or anyone else, therefore, expect to see out of a guy like John Wall? It's not like he's old in age years.
No, I just think it depends on what type of condition he's in. His surgeries or injuries that he's had throughout his career. And just for the time, just aging. Sometimes guys especially age differently. I played 16 years in the league and retired when I was 39. And towards the end of my career, I felt just as good as I did early in my career. But guys age differently, depends on the wear and tear of his body. I got to see him play in 10 straight games, 20 straight games. I got to see him play in, maybe 30 out of 35 games just to see, where he is from an athletic standpoint, because you're not talking about a Steph Curry type of a skill set. John Wall prided himself on athleticism and playing above the rim and dashing and, his speed, more of a traditional type of a point guard mid-range game. So we haven't seen him for a long time. So it'll matter what type of physical conditioning he's in, and can he have that same explosiveness that he had when he was in the prime of his career.
Well, certainly John Wall's hoping to get back onto the court and show everybody what he has, since nobody's been able to see it. Of the day, John Wall expected to be bought out by the Houston Rockets, and according to reports, will be signing with the LA Clippers. Avery Johnson, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Pretty close. I'm telling you, they may be playing game, Amanda. They have so much excitement around them, and I started betting them this past season. Now you're going to go, oh, well, they're one of the worst teams in the NBA. You're right. But they went through a stretch where 23 games, Amanda, they went 21-2 against the spread. That, to me, told me that Vegas could not figure out this team, and I watched them grow. And now there's an excitement to the Pistons. Cade Cunningham is going to be a top 5 player in the NBA at some point. Is it going to happen next year? Probably not. But there are massive jumps that players take from year 1 to year 2 because the game starts to slow down. Cade Cunningham played in no preseason games. They just thrusted him out there. You had to go to some small town to do local news to get your reps. Do you remember what town they sent you off to? Cade Cunningham never got those reps, Amanda.
No, that's true. Okay, so give me your outlook then for Cade Cunningham. Initially you said top 5, then you walked, you're walking a lot of stuff back here, Tim, because initially you said the Pistons were a playoff team. Now you're like, maybe. Then you said Cade Cunningham top 5. Now you're like, maybe. So here's the thing. Cade Cunningham, year 2 last year, he averaged 17.4 points, 5.6 assists, 5.6 assists, 5.5 rebounds, became the youngest Pistons to ever record a triple-double. Then give me your realistic outlook, what you really believe about Cade Cunningham.
I think he's going to average 23 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and the Pistons are going to hover around 41 to 43 wins. Now, I can't look into a crystal ball right now and tell you that Kyrie Irving's going to stay in Brooklyn and Kevin Durant. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I think they're going to be really, really close for crying out. And then they go out there, get Jaden Ivey, because Jaden Ivey didn't want to go to Sacramento, because nobody wants to go to Sacramento except for Joe Musso. When he was doing small market, boo-boo, they kicked him in the old Sacramento. Get your reps out there. Where were you getting your reps early in your career, and how much money were you making? Name the first town you were in.
Oklahoma City, and I think I made $125 a day. That was about it. We all remember that first contractor money, right? That was exactly what it was. All right, talk to me about Marvin Bagley III entering the offseason as a restricted free agent. What would you like to see happen here with him?
Yeah, I think that he needed a change of scenery. You know, that sometimes the streets were getting too hot. Another guy, what city was he in? Sacramento. Jaden Ivey didn't even work out for the Kings. He's like, nah, cuz I ain't going there. And Marvin Bagley was there toiling. Now you get him a change of scenery. You get him up playing with Cade Cunningham. I mean, this guy was supposed to be an NBA All-Star, and got off to a lackluster start. I thought he just lost confidence, and he needed to kind of have the glow up. I don't think the glow up necessarily has happened yet, but it could. And I think that he's so young and so talented. I think now he's learning how to be a professional. And now you put him around some other guys. This is an exciting team that has some pieces right now. And I think if Bagley's able to shoot the three consistently, not 40%, but if he can shoot it 33, 34%, stretch the defense, allow Cade Cunningham and Ivy to get in those pick and roll opportunities. He left Sacramento. And what we've noticed about Joe Musso, he's emerged as a top 3 anchor at CBS Sports HQ. I'm not going to put the rankings out there, okay? But he's top 3 in my eyes. Why? Because he got out of Sacramento.
So should we send you to Sacramento to really kickstart your career? Is that what's happening here, Tim?
We're not friends, okay? We're not friends.
It was just too easy. I'm very sorry. I'll move along. Free agents the Pistons should target. What do you think?
Yeah, Miles Bridges is someone that is kind of scary to go out there and pay him the max contract, but who knows with the new TV deal, what could happen where, all of a sudden his contract in 3 or 4 years, you're like, oh, that's all we paid him? He took a huge step in his game, shot the three, ultra consistent. Obviously, he's a highlight type guy, but his offensive game is averaging over 20 points a game. He showed me he put in the work. I was at the gym today, curling 25-pound weights, and someone grabbed me and they go, what do you think of the draft? I don't know what to think. These guys are 19 years old. They're going to really have to expand on their games. So what I've seen from Miles Bridges is he's worked. I remember watching him at Michigan State. He could not dribble with his right hand. And not only could he do that, now he can bang back down, step back threes. He's put in the work to get better. I don't know if Paolo Banchero is going to do that. It's hard to predict. I know this, 19-year-old Tim Doyle, you give him $4 million. You know what I'm doing? Oh, I'm making it rain. I'm enjoying myself. I don't know if I'm in the gym every single day. So I know that now as a 39-year-old dad who drives a minivan. So I think that, it's good. I think if you can get Miles Bridges, you go get Miles Bridges.
I really thought you were going to go with 30 there for a second. And I was going to be all on board because I was just going to skyrocket back to 28. Mr. Moneybags, you got your money behind you. Let's talk about the Pistons.